Hello, my name is Andrew Flushy. I'm a Virginia traffic attorney. I wanted to explain to you a change in Virginia's law that will be taking effect on July 1st of this year, 2012. And this pertains to DUI or DWI. Starting July 1st of 2012, if you're convicted of even a first offense of DUI or DWI, you would have to have ignition interlock in order to have a restricted license. That's a big change because prior to July 1st of this year, you only need ignition interlock for a restricted license on a DUI on a first offense if your blood alcohol content is proven to be a 0.15 or more. But starting July 1st, even a 0.08, even a very low level, even a 0.07, you could be convicted with just a 0.07 blood alcohol content. In order to get a restricted license on even a first DUI, any kind of first DUI, you have to have ignition interlock as a requirement. Well, what does that mean realistically for you if you're facing a charge of DUI? What that means is, if you're convicted of any first DUI after July 1st, you have a couple of choices. If you don't want to drive for a whole year, your license is suspended for 1 year for a DUI first conviction. If you don't want to drive, you simply don't drive for that 1 year. If you do want to have a restricted license, you need that to get to work or school or to take care of your kids or drive to church, which are all permissible purposes under the law. In order to have that restricted license, you cannot drive any vehicle unless it has ignition interlock installed. So it is a condition of your restricted license. The good news for you is, and I have had some clients who didn't care to drive during that year. They were able to make other arrangements. Maybe you're retired, maybe you don't need to drive much, and if you can make do without driving any kind of vehicle for a year, you don't have to mess with ignition interlock at all. So that's a little bit different than the way it used to be. It's not a condition of getting your license back. It's simply going to be a condition of having a restricted license. But if you want to have a restricted license and you want to drive for any permissible purposes, you will have to have ignition interlock installed, and that's the way it was going to work. Now, if you're charged with a second offense of DUI and you're convicted of second offense DUI, the ignition interlock would be a condition of your restricted license at the appropriate time, but it would also be a condition of license restoration. So what that means is, for a second offense, in order to get your license back, you would have to have ignition interlock. Even if you don't do the restricted license during court, you're going to have ignition interlock at some point for a second offense. But first offense, you do have a choice to not have ignition interlock, but you can't drive. In order to drive at all after a first offense during that 1 year, you'll have to have ignition interlock, which it's the blow machine where you blow before you can start your car. And so it's going to be a financial burden, but it's something that we can help work with you on to help manage the process.